Coming up, President Trump is coming to Des Moines.
And later, the black and gold returns at Purdue's Ross-Ade Stadium.
Welcome to DITV Now, your flash update on all of the biggest headlines coming out of the Daily Iowan newsroom. I'm your host, Olivia Williams.
And I'm Michael Merrick. President Trump is on the road again after being hospitalized for testing positive for COVID-19. Today, his campaign will make their stop in Des Moines. And even though rally-goers must have their temperatures checked and are required to wear masks, Des Moines Mayor Frank County is still worried about COVID-19 transmission. Check back tomorrow for rally highlights.
Now more than ever, hospitals need blood donors of all types. With the COVID-19 pandemic still sweeping the nation, hospitals across the country are turning to local blood donation centers for help. Although blood drives and events didn't stop when the pandemic first struck, many drives are being canceled.
The need for blood continues no matter what. Pandemic or no pandemic, there are patients who need to have blood transfusion.
In addition to blood, plasma can be donated too. And if they've recovered from COVID-19, they can donate what's known as COVID-19 convalescent plasma, CCP. CCP is being used to treat patients in hospitals with COVID-19 because COVID-19 survivors create antibodies that fight the virus.
And those antibodies are still present even 28 days after symptoms have subsided. We need that amount of time because we want to make sure that the donor doesn't come to the donation center, the collection event, and is at all putting people around them at risk for a new infection.
Despite the pandemic, local blood centers are still meeting patient needs. Social distancing, enforcing masks, and scheduling appointments is required in all donor centers.
The Iowa football team is traveling to Purdue to kick off the 2020 season. The team spoke out about returning to the field for the first time since COVID-19 put their season in limbo. If Hawkeye football had taken a timeout for 2020, some of these seniors may have never charged the field again. Despite this, senior linebacker Barrington Wade said they held on to faith that they'd play again.
Initially, when the season was canceled, it bothered me a lot. You know, it was going to be my last season. So, you know, as me being a fifth-year senior, I was really hurt by it. But you know, just to maintain faith that I'll find another way to play or get another chance to play.
With less time to prepare for the season, there was speculation on what side of the ball would favor from a home field advantage. But according to one veteran linebacker, this year's season won't favor anybody.
I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, just in terms of communication and everyone being on the same page, not getting rattled by, you know, external factors. It could help you, but in the same way, you know, you like to have that home field advantage, especially in Kinnick with the big games and all that stuff.
And while the Nate Stanley era has ended, his legacy lives on in Stanley's mentee, Iowa quarterback Spencer Petras.
So, you know, I have no question in my mind that he showed me the right way to prepare for a game, and that's what I've tried my best to emulate. It's my job to make sure that, you know, this doesn't go to waste. We have a great team with a lot of talented guys, and it's up to all of us. But, you know, there's up to me to execute this offense well.
Like Petras said, the team is filled with talent, and with the first kickoff happening October 24th, we will be sure to keep you updated on all things Hawkeye football.
University choirs are learning to harmonize together again despite COVID-19 protocols standing in their way. Vocal performance majors depend on choir performance for degree credits, so the music departments got creative to provide students choral performance experience.
We went completely virtual at the beginning. However, we're now starting to go back to doing sectional work with several of our choirs. Again, spacing way out in large halls, and everyone wearing masks. So we have no more than about 8 to 12 people at a time singing.
When singing, vocalists need to open their mouths more, which leads to typical masks being more restricting. While there are special choral masks available, they are less protective against COVID-19 than regular masks, so they are not required for students. Off-campus choirs are adjusting too by rehearsing online. This presents many challenges when tuning and learning as a team. Performances are moving online. Different choirs are finding different techniques, such as pre-recorded videos or live on Zoom.
All virtual performances, which means that we are recording individual performances by individual singers, and then these are compiled based on, as they record them, they're actually watching a conductor, they're actually hearing music going on their headphones, and they're recording a high quality recording that will then be compiled together to produce a performance.
The School of Music has a group of audio engineers who will work on editing the voices together for the concerts. Through the semester, both the musicians and directors have benefited from working online. This format has provided more one-on-one time and opportunities to build their musicianship with this year's unique opportunities.
Here's what else is happening in the news week. Starting today, the Supreme Court has voted to stop the census from gathering any more demographic data. In an unsigned letter from the Supreme Court, they overturned the Ninth Circuit orders to continue collecting data in the field through October 31st. Justice Sonia Sotomayor dissented, writing, quote, "The harms caused by rushing this year's census count are irreparable," end quote.
Scientists are one step closer to capturing the invasive Asian giant hornet species that is threatening the North America bee population. Experts captured one and attached a Bluetooth tracking device in hopes of finding the hive. Although they lost signal, they are hopeful that this could be the next step in getting rid of the invasive hornets.
The Senate Judiciary Committee began confirmation hearings for SCOTUS nominee Amy Coney Barrett this week. So far, she has been questioned on her experience, knowledge of the law, and timeliness of her nomination amid Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. She has also been questioned on her possible bias if the Supreme Court must rule on this election. Here was her response.
I certainly hope that all members of the committee have more confidence in my integrity than to think that I would allow myself to be used as a pawn to decide this election for the American people.
Famously, the late Justice Ginsburg's final wish was that her seat was filled after the election.
If you're joining us from Iowa City today, be sure to pull out your windbreakers because today's a breezy day. Wind speeds will be between 20 and 30 miles per hour, and you can expect a high of 78 and a low of 42 degrees. Enjoy the last day of summer temperatures, Iowa City.
Thank you for tuning in to DITV Now. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest from the University of Iowa, Iowa City, and Hawkeye Nation. From Iowa City, I'm Michael Merrick.
And I'm Olivia Williams. Have a great day.